Hey everyone, and welcome back to my completionist playthrough of Diablo 2 on Hardcore, and in this episode we're going to continue the storyline of Nihlathak, still being in utter shock after his betrayal was revealed last time. And we're also going to clear up some super uniques and progress further in the act, but the final push to kill Baal will probably happen in the next video. We'll see how everything will work out time-wise. But anyway, first we need to empty up our cube to get some inventory space. And some decent money, and we can also warm up by killing Eldritch. This is generally a good practice to develop in Act 5. Every time we remake a game, we can quickly go for some experience and potential decent loot by killing our boy Eldritch here, as well as Shank, considering how close he is, and in general how little effort is required to take both of them down. Alright, we didn't get too much out of it this time, but of course, you know, in this game, judging if anything is profitable or not requires killing it like 500 times and then looking at the data. But anyway, oh yeah, let's just check it out. Okay, this might sell for something. Just make some space for it. Yeah, I think I'm going to just sell it. I'm not going to wait until Nightmare or Hell to get, you know, a few more thousand for it. Now we can kind of start selling things as we get them. But anyway, now it is time to finally progress with this part of the story involving Nihlathak's temple. And of course, as I mentioned before, this part of the act is entirely skippable under normal circumstances, but of course in our completionist playthrough we are going to explore the full extent of it. So, as we take this portal, the Sorceress is going to have a little comment of her own.
Could this be a trap?
Well, would Nihlathak be so vile as to do something like that to us? And of course, the Sorceress's intuition is correct, and I just wanted to position myself in sort of a safe position or location to experience this ambush, just to... You know, it is pretty cool. It is a pretty cool concept of all of these dead rising up to greet us. But anyway, it's time to get down to business and encounter the guard here, the Pindleskin, a super unique that is a very prominent target for some farming on Hell, because he can drop some really good stuff, and of course it is very easily accessible through that portal Anya created for us, and we are going to have to talk about that portal very soon. But anyway, now as we go into the temple. Now those levels are giant labyrinths, but they become much easier to navigate once you realize that there are only 3 layouts for both level 1 and 2, and memorizing them is going to improve your experience dramatically. So here on level 1, in the Halls of Anguish, the exit is going to be either in the bottom left, bottom right, or top right, and there's quite a few ways to know where to go by looking at certain map tiles. But for a character with teleport, what I usually like to do is just do a sweep of the southern area, either from right to left or from left to right, and you know, then that is going to give us the information we need, and we have a 66.6% chance that we are going to find our exit that way. And I think we might stop by and kill some monsters here and there just to get a feel for this place. Especially since on higher difficulties we are just going to go through it as quickly as possible, because it is extremely dangerous, especially on Hell. I think, since we're on the topic, I think on Hell I'm going to do this place last, even after killing Baal and whatnot. Here of course on normal we are following the story kind of as it unfolds, as we're kind of intended to, but you know, on Hell I'm not going to take any chances, because this is going to be one of the most likely places I'm going to die in. Especially on level 3 on Nihlathak himself. Anyway, I didn't want to pick that up. Anyway, here's our exit in the bottom left then. And this place also has some pretty spooky music, I have to say. But anyway, now on level 2, the waypoint and exit are on the opposite sides of the map. And I like to go to the bottom right first here as well, since there we're going to either find the exit, the big hall with the waypoint, or nothing, and from that info we'll know where to go. So let's do just that. Go straight down, and yeah, we do have the big room with the waypoint. And flagging this waypoint is generally something that you almost never ever want to do, because this is going to make the red portal Anya created in Harrogath disappear after we remake the game. Of course, making Pindleskin way harder to quickly farm, and even for characters specifically dedicated to farming the Keys of Destruction from Nihlathak, even they usually don't take that waypoint, although it is more understandable in such a case. But, you know, under normal circumstances, in the vast majority of cases, you never flag that waypoint, because of course it locks you out of that easy access to Pindleskin. But of course, since our completionist objectives state that we do have to get all of the waypoints, well, we have no choice. And farming Pindleskin wouldn't really come into effect in our type of run anyway, so it's not that big of a deal. And of course, it doesn't matter on normal, and we're mostly talking about hell here. But anyway, since we did get this waypoint here in the bottom right, we know that we have to go to the bottom left for the exit. And yeah, let's stop by and maybe kill a couple of groups on our way. Have some fun in this place. Kill some of Nihlathak's minions. I really love these guys. They're so squishy. They're somehow very satisfying to kill. Anyway, here at the beginning of level 3, I am just going to quickly clear out this initial portion of the map, because there is some things I would like to elaborate on. So let's have a moment of peace for that. There's only one layout of this map. There are going to be 4 ways to go from this start in the middle and that we arrive in. And here, basically, you know, all of these 4 ways are dead ends, and at the end of one of them, Nihlathak is going to be waiting for us with his minions. And now there fortunately is a way to figure out where we need to go by looking at 4 specific wall tiles that are going to have this, let's see, this kind of pattern here on the wall. This is sometimes called an eye panel. I don't really see any eyes here that much, but you know, this specific wall is what we need to look for, this kind of pattern on the wall, to determine which way we need to go to face Nihlathak. So this is one of the walls. You know, here this is kind of the second tile of this wall. We have to look at the first one, so he is not going to be to the bottom right. And then the other tile that we need to check is this one. So we know that he is not going to be here in this bottom right path. Then the third tile to check is this one. It's also empty, so we know he is not going to be to the top right. And here we have that wall pattern, determining that he is going to be to the top left. I might even clear out the area a little bit to have somewhere to retreat to. Nihlathak is generally not a big deal on normal. His main ability is that he has Corpse Explosion, which when like exploding the corpses of these ice spawn that are always with him, on normal it only goes up to like 92 damage, and considering that that Corpse Explosion is half physical and half fire damage, of course with our 75 fire resistance, half of that 92 we are going to be able to reduce by 3/4. So the damage and range of his Corpse Explosion on normal isn't that impressive. It of course increases with the difficulties. On Hell the range of this Corpse Explosion is much greater. But anyway, of course here our quest log shows up because we did get close to Nihlathak, and I would like to just clear out some of these guys and then allow Nihlathak to utter one of his lines here.
You have no idea of the power you face.
Alright. There we go. That's one of the things he says. Sometimes he says, for my homeland. You know, he does... You know, he's not, of course, an irredeemably evil character. He does have some kind of misguided idea about how to save Harrogath. But, of course, we know that he is a fool, trying to consort with Baal. But anyway, like I said, you know, on normal he is not a big deal, but on Nightmare and especially on Hell, he is my personal nightmare. This is one of my most hated places to be at, especially as a squishy sorceress. On Hell, these corpse explosions are going to one-shot us, pretty much no matter what kind of defensive stats we have. And there are a couple of ways to approach the situation, and we're going to get to that in more detail once we are on Hell. But yeah, here, since he is not too mobile, Blizzard, you know, not many of these ice shards kind of reach him, but there he goes down anyway. Whoa!
Your power was no match for mine.
I like that line. And wow, Nihlathak was actually pretty nice for us. We have, you know, pretty irrelevant unique here, but we also have a unique ring. What do you think this is going to be? Nagel ring? Perhaps for some magic find? I think it's the most likely. Yeah, 29. That's actually a high roll. This is going to be added to our magic find gear set. I'm not sure how to pronounce it. Nagel ring, Nagel ring. Anyway, now we can go back to Anya to kind of get a conclusion to this quest. The red portal is still here because we have not remade the game yet, but you know, after we save and quit and remake, it's not going to be here anymore.
Good morning. You have stopped Nihlathak, but he didn't have the relic. He must have already given it to Baal. Now Baal will not be tested when he reaches Ariat's summit. Damn Nihlathak. I do thank you for trying, though. Please allow me to honor your courage by magically inscribing your name onto an item of your choosing. It's the least I can do.
Well, it's not that much that you're going to do for us here. Of course, you know, one of the reasons you never do this normally is because, you know, the quest reward is so irrelevant here. She is going to be able to add our name to one of our items. The unfortunate thing about this reward, you know, making it even more irrelevant, even worse, is that when it comes to runewords, your name is not going to be inscribed to the name of the runeword itself. It's not going to say Nisharan's Stealth, for example, or would be cool with, let's say, Nisharan's Spirit once we get that. But when it comes to runewords, your name is going to be added in front of the base item. So it would say Nisharan's Hard Leather Armor, or here Nisharan's Large Shield. So from what we have here, I think it's going to be best. I am going to use this reward right away. You know, on Nightmare and Hell, we might have a better selection of items to maybe inscribe our name onto some unique that is going to sound cool. But from the selection of items we have here, of course, I don't really care about this reward. I think using the gauntlets here is going to be the best choice. Nisharan's Blood Touch. That has a nice ring to it. It's pretty decent. Anyway, now of course when it comes to the story, we have found out that Nihlathak already made the trade with Baal, already gave him that relic of the ancients, allowing Baal to bypass the rite of passage and get access to the Worldstone Keep right away. And this rite of passage, Qualkak is going to speak to us about.
Every time I hear of you, warrior, your deeds become more legendary. But take heed, you are approaching the very summit of Mount Ariat. I have never dared venture there. It is sacred, our most holy place. The legends say it is guarded by the Ancient Ones, who block the path of all who are unworthy. Your reputation here does not matter. It will be the Ancients who determine your worthiness. Good luck.
Yeah, so that gives us our fifth quest, to defeat the Ancients, to gain entry to the Worldstone Keep. Of course, getting that reward from Anya grays out this quest officially. Here, our best buddy Deckard Cain being kind of lonely in this act. We've been kind of neglecting him, considering how kind of out of the way he is. Of course, normally we trade with Mala or Larzuk and are on the eastern side of town. And he is just way too far away to make use of his identifying services more often. Although he did choose an appropriate spot for him, very in line with his Diablo 1 position in Tristram, near the well or the fountain in there. Here he also, you know, chose the right location near that well. Anyway, we can get some stuff done here. Oh yeah, here's our magic find stuff. I'm going to, of course, sort that later. Let's just replenish our potions and be on our way to the next thing. Right, also, I wanted to say something about this large shield, since that's Anyas Reward, and inspecting of our items reminded me of something. And there is a very little kind of sub-mechanic in the game when it comes to chest armors and shields. They are separated into 3 categories: light, medium, and heavy. And depending on what kind of armor and what kind of shield we have equipped, they might slow us down a little bit, because the medium armors and shields slow us down by 5% and drain 5% more of our stamina, and then heavy armors and heavy shields bestow upon us a penalty of 10% in those areas. So of course, having equipped this large shield, we are slowed down by 5%. Of course, it doesn't really matter at all. This mechanic generally doesn't do much, but it is there, so I think it's appropriate to mention now that we are equipped with this large shield. And it's also pretty funny that this large shield is considered a medium shield. And also that this large shield that requires 34 strength is considered a medium shield, and then the kite shield that requires 47 strength is considered a light shield and wouldn't slow us down. But anyway, now we need to go back to our icy caverns and progress to the Glacial Trail.
I need mana.
The exit should be somewhere in the west here.
Not enough mana.
Alright, there it is. Now in the Glacial Trail, let's... I think this is going to be the same first tile we've had in the Crystalline Passage. Yeah, the one looking to the top right. But the directions in the Glacial Trail are a little bit different, since the waypoint is not going to be to the right. To the right, there's going to be a gold chest with a super unique bone saw that we have to take care of. Straight is going to be the passage to the Drifter Cavern that we're going to visit on Nightmare. This is just a side area with a couple of special groups. And then to the left, there's going to be the exit. And the waypoint is somewhere between the entrance and the exit. And it's very often kind of behind this first tile. If we just teleport here, we might get lucky. Yeah, there we go. We do have that waypoint here, and before we do anything else, let's just get that super unique out of the way. So let's just go all the way east here and try to find Bonesaw. Bonesaw Breaker, I think is his full name. Right, there we go. He is going to be up there, closer to a gold chest. Let's actually just clear out this area a little bit. Not to introduce any stupid dangerous situations. If we want to teleport from Bonesaw, of course we're going to keep our distance from him and his friends, because they are the undead that have a certain propensity for charging into us. Let's just try to highlight him somewhere in there. Yeah, there he is, Bonesaw Breaker. Let's give him some nice taste of some blizzards. Chest is locked, unfortunately, and I haven't been really, gathering keys. It doesn't really matter all that much now. I'm probably going to have dedicate a slot for some keys later on like hell. I would like to get that War Scepter. Alright, and now we're out. So here's straightforward. We're going to showcase that that side area, that it is there. These evil urns often spawn a special group, so sign me up for some more experience. Okay, we are going to have to go for refill soon. Okay, this one didn't give us a... Oh, maybe it did. Maybe it spawned a little bit further away. Alright, here's our exit.
possible.
Okay, and here we have the Driftern Cavern and some Yeti champions that I'm not going to waste our time with.
Salutations.
You know what, let's just keep emptying our cube as we go, not to have it cluttered. Alright, this has the potential to sell for, you know, 35 on Hell, but I'm not going to wait that long. Let's just get rid of it and move on. Now in the Frozen Tundra we just have a waypoint to flag. There's already a unique group to greet us. That's pretty nice. Now when it comes to the increased variety of monsters on Nightmare and Hell, I do appreciate it in this area. It's entirely just a transitory area that you don't care much about anyway, but you know, here on normal there's only going to be these little demons and not much else. Well, and then their big buddies. Here I'm going to try to kind of go around that area totally looking for the waypoint. There's of course also a side area, the Infernal Pit, that we're going to visit on Nightmare. Now this area is a rectangle, but not a narrow one, so I'm going to just kind of make an effort to, on the way, check its width, its thickness, if you will. Because of course, you know, under normal circumstances you just do the teleport trick and just start teleporting right like that till the end. Here we do have the end, but haven't had the waypoint on our way anywhere. Okay, no special group. We did kill a couple of champions. I think we did get all of them. So anyway, let's continue our search for that waypoint. Alright, there it is. And now we can go into the Ancient's Way. Here we're kind of back to the usual Icy Cavern layout of directives. To the left there's going to be the exit to Ariat Plateau. And then we're going to have to explore the rest of the map to find the waypoint and a side area called the Icy Cellar that we are going to have to visit, because there's going to be a super unique inside of it, Snapchip Shatter, that we have to defeat. Anyway, these Frozen Scourge guys, as you can see, they do not get slowed at all by our stuff, because they have 0 chill effectiveness, and I think when we get rid of them and have a moment of peace, we are going to elaborate on that chill effectiveness attribute, because it is going to become pretty important soon. Alright, so that chill effectiveness. It's a stat that indicates how much the monsters can be slowed by the chilling effect of cold spells, cold damage, and holy freeze. And normally it's 50% slow on their movement and attack speed on normal, 40% on Nightmare, and 33% on Hell, but many enemies have a reduced chill effectiveness value. For example, a chill effectiveness of -25, just because these values do come in the negatives. So -25 means that the monster is going to be slowed by just 25%. Instead of that higher amount that it should be slowed by. And then of course there are the notable enemies with 0 chill effectiveness, which means that they can't be slowed by chilling effects at all. And generally when you progress through higher difficulties, more monsters are going to have a reduced chill effectiveness value, and more are going to reach 0. And on normal, the most notable ones are in the Worldstone Keep, the Death Lords. Are extremely dangerous because they are the Minotaur guys with Frenzy, and having no way to slow them down you know, means that they do kind of earn their name of Death Lords. Then, of course, these Frozen Scourge guys that we have met here. Also, Korlik and Talik, 2 of the Ancients, have 0 chill effectiveness on normal. Then on Nightmare, all of these Ice Cavern guys, you know, not just the Frozen Scourge, but their other types also gain 0 chill effectiveness. And on Hell, the situation gets all kinds of more complicated and serious, because also Dolls, Souls, Ghosts, the Apes in Nihlathak's place, and also Andariel gets 0 chill effectiveness. And of course, there's going to be a lot of monsters with just like -10 or something. So kind of a minimal slow that we're going to be able to apply to them only. And yeah, now after that whole explanation, let's actually go back to town and do a refill. on our stuff. Right, I'm going to save that jewel for some crafting recipes. Let's just put it here for now. And move on. There was a special group there. Even though it's going to take a little while, I think I am going to kill them, although we have a enchanted cold immune guy. So we'll see how receptive he's going to be to our charge bolts. He is kind of receptive. Of course, we're going to static him down massively and then unleash our stuff. Oh man, I did replenish our mana, but didn't get much of it in our inventory. I was kind of elsewhere with my laggy brain, I guess. Alright, these guys again. Another cold enchanted guy. Steel Spell. There can be some pretty funny names of the unique monsters. I have some screenshots of my favorite ones somewhere. My favorite one is Puke Feast. Also reminding me of Poop Feast 420, a classic name from StarCraft 2 official Korean broadcasts from back in the day. Anyway, since I did make a mistake in not doing a proper refill, let's actually get to it now. And yeah, we should be okay now.
Not enough mana.
Kinda want to kill some of these guys along the way, not to just skip throughout all of the areas. This is again going to be something that we're going to kind of leave as quickly as possible on Hell especially.
I need mana.
So let's enjoy our stay a little bit more here on normal, where things are not that crazy yet. Alright, here's our Icy Cellar with a nice champion pack of these succubi. The Icy Cellar is going to be a little dangerous. There's going to be a couple of special groups, and it is inhabited by Yetis and these frozen Scourge guys. So especially when it comes to the Yetis, you know, these guys are, you know, the fact that they have 0 chill effectiveness doesn't really matter all that much because of how slow they are. But when it comes to some other monsters, it does matter, and the Yetis, of course, have a reduced chill effectiveness value, and they are just dangerous and resistant to cold in general. So having to deal with some of them, if we do have some dangerous packs here, it's not going to be so fun. Although, as always, we are going to have to use the rivers here to our advantage. Let's just get some mana here, and that's going to be it. Yeah, we do have some of these Yetis. Alright, more succubi, I do welcome them. They are not too dangerous here yet. That's Snapchip already? Yeah, there he is. Snapchip Shatter. He is always cold enchanted, so we're going to have to employ our charge bolts once again. Why are you so annoying, Succubus? Can you get affected by our stuff, please? And I was taking things really carefully here, but I think we are in a pretty good situation. You know, sometimes if you teleport a little bit too far and you aggro some kind of a Yeti pack and whatnot, things might get a little dangerous here, especially since this is a pretty small area with not that many places to escape to. But anyway, we should be fine. Taking things pretty slowly here, but at least we are safe. Alright then. Okay, another minion. Let's quickly get rid of him. Any mana? I don't think so, but there is a locked chest. Alright. Alright, doesn't matter. Alright, we're done here. Do I really want to spend more time to do another refill? Because I would like to find the exit here.
Not enough mana.
I think it might be it. This way. Oh, Mana Shrine, thank you. Oh no, what am I saying? Waypoint, not exit. Yes. We did manage to get to it. Alright, so we did it. We are almost done with the act, but I think I am going to dedicate the next episode for our final push, our fight against the Ancients, and then Bale, our conquest throughout Worldstone Keep in general. So this is going to be, well, not that short of an episode, but anyway, I hope you enjoyed it nonetheless. I thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.